I'm David Taborda. My student ID is S1526636. I'm going to talk about digital forensics assignment 4, 5 forensics techniques. So in this report, it will be possible to observe clearly and in detail how to use the different tools, methods, and forensic techniques to identify the type of data that are required according to the case. This report is based on analyzing the sugar sync application data source using different forensics methods. The main objective in this assignment is downloading, uploading, and deleting files in sugar sync. So, sugar sync is an application to create backups, copies, and access files from anywhere since all the files are saved in the cloud, as well as easily synchronize and share any document in the application that can be accessed from any device with an internet connection. Can be accessed in two diverse ways, using the app or by logging in directly to the website. So the first method that we are going to use is the analysis of data files without an internet connection to identify who accessed and modify the files inside the local sugar sync folder. So we have to go to local security policy, and after that just have to turn on the audit object access property. This is an important step because we have to use it for the next step. So in this case, we have to open the SugarSync file, and we have to auditing the main users. In this case, I use all of them. If you can see here, I give access for the users, system administrator, and authenticated users. So in this case, after we done that step, we have to go to event viewer, and here we just delete our files, and we can see here which file. In this case, it was hash test, and we can see the action. It was deleted, and in this case we can see the ID who deleted. In this case, this ID is our main device. So if we check the another one here, the same file, we can see it here. Someone just access um, to this file and the time and the date. So next method is forensic software analysis. In this case, we are going to use Autopsy. This is analysis software to investigate the hard drive for evidence. Is the effortless to use since you can search for keywords, email analysis, timeline analysis, and metadata, making it a complete software. So in this case, we have to open our Autopsy with our hard disk. So this is the result. And if we are going to find our hash test, we can see it here, our hash test file. We can see it when was modified, when was accessed, when was created, when was changed, depends on the time. If we see here, we can see our file name, and the security ID is gonna be who did the permission. So in this case, it was our device. This is the ID for our device. It's a little bit long number. So in this case, we saw to delete files because we to test it. We just delete two files. In this case, it was hash test, and we can see here the security ID. It was the same ID as this one, so that means it's our device. And as the last one, we can see what was modified, access, created, and changed. We are going to use Technique 3, network traffic analysis. In this case, we are going to use Wireshark. We need to intercept packet that are sent and received on the Sugar server. To do this, we need to transfer data between the Sugar Sync app and our computer. A test folder was created in our system synchronized with the server and can be seen at the following screenshots. For example, in this screenshot, we try to find the Sugar Sync's server IP address, and the range is this one. So every single IP address range between this one, we know is the Sugar Sync servers. So in this case, we can see when we use Wireshark, we got many packets sent between our device and the Sugar Sync server. In this case, we can see it from here. It's gonna be the same IP address than this one, so the range is gonna be the same. So for example, it's the same range. So this is means we have connection between our device and the server sending the package. If we can see it here, we can see the application data. So that means it's sending package. So our next tool, we use a spoofing tool. In this case, we use Technetium. It's a this tool helps us change the MAC address and IP address. This is the identify theft techniques. For this technique, we will use a software. This software, which can we see in the following screenshot. So this is the software, and if we see it here, we can see this is our actual IP address, MAC address, sorry. And after we use this software, we just click in change now, and after that we can see it, the MAC address change totally, because this is random. So this is a random MAC address. So it's so useful if you want someone doesn't know your MAC address. So if we want to know if our software is working properly, we have just to go to CMD and use the IP address /all to check our physical address. So we can check here the MAC address, the new one is gonna be the same. So this means our software work properly. So after that, to check it again, we have to use Wireshark and check the data transfer between our address and the server's address. In this case, we can see it, our MAC address changed for the new one. So that means the spoofing tool works properly. For this method, we are going to use an HTML for the analysis. As we mentioned before, we can access the cloud services from two different ways, such as the app and directly from the website. In this case, we have to use the website page. So this is the Sugar Sync desktop. So we just have to use F12 to open the code source. In this case, we can see it's here. And if we check the elements, we are going to see our text ID. So this is our ID, and this is the specially certificate for access to the server, because the method of post is the certificate to log in properly. So for example, if we remember our user and password on the website, we can see the password and the user yeah. So this is a good way to try to find information from the websites. For our last technique, we are going to use a NetworkMiner. So for the following method, we use the NetworkMiner software, another tool that allows us to examine packages. Its graphical interface is also straightforward to understand and use. This software allows to examine files, images, credential messages, active sections, and protocols. So this software is so easy to use because if we can see it, the interface, we can try to find everything we need. This is like Autopsy, but a little bit easier than Autopsy. So in this case, we can see the IP address um, of the Sugar Sync server and the connection receiving packages. That's because we send some packages to the servers and download some packages for our system. So in this case, if we use Network Miner, we can see the section active. So for example, this is the Sugar server host. So we can see it here, our information. This is our user, and this is an section on. So in conclusion, to conclude, several tools have been used to find the information and to be able to carry out the forensic investigation adequately. Each tool has its own purpose and function to obtain a result. If the information previously provided is in, we can see that some methods and tools are better used to analyze files, boards in real time and offline. Some tools specialize in network sniffing, which allows to capture and analyze data in real time. Essential to extract the necessary information since on many occasions the software extends too much information, so it's become difficult to find what is needed. For this reason, as already mentioned, it's essential to know how to use the filter of each software. Um, we were able to observe a tool that helps to find credential information when a user enters the server. When these results are combined, make sure that the information is not wrong, and it's difficult for someone to deny it since the evidence is true and the tools and software provide. Thank you so much.